Hey guys, Lee Cole here. So it's been a while since I shot one of my videos just talking to you guys. We got on this channel a lot of videos about product reviews and stuff like that we've done recently, but I kind of got out of just sitting around and talking about internet marketing and cool stuff like that, and I wanted to get back into that. One of the big reasons I got out of that is because not that it wasn't working, it was working great. As a matter of fact, because of all the videos that we did this summer, so right now I'm in December and all the videos that we did this summer, channel started to explode, getting a lot more business out of that, a lot more inquiries, et cetera, et cetera. But also we kind of wanted to kick back and develop some software to help with to help with certain aspects of video marketing that are repetitive and kind of boring. And so we've done that. We're coming out with some really cool software on December the 15th called Tube Poster. And I'm sure that I'll have a video fairly soon telling you all about that. But on this new series that I'm doing, I wanted to talk about one of my favorite things, which is email marketing. And every single business in the world should be building an email list. So you could be an affiliate marketer, you could be strictly online, you could be just somebody living the laptop lifestyle, and maybe you want to build a list within a certain niche specialty. I mean, there are people that build lists in all kinds of stuff: yoga, fishing, make money online kind of stuff, how to use YouTube to make money, et cetera, et cetera. So that specialty, that area of expertise that we're talking about is what you call the niche, or if you're on the other side of the Atlantic, the niche. And so really one of the first things you need to do is you need to think about what niche you want to specialize in. It's not going to work for you to build a channel just talking about everything under the sun. There has to be a common component to it. Now, granted, YouTube influencers, there's a lot of latitude there, and they can talk about what they ate for breakfast one day, and then do an unboxing video the next day, and that's fair because that's more of a lifestyle thing. But for a lot of people, you really need a sort of a hard and fast niche. And even with those influencers, when you pair back all of the comedy and the silliness and stuff like that, there's still a niche there. There's still a focus. So what are good niches? Well, if you want to build out a YouTube channel, and if you want to, around this, if you want to use YouTube, for instance, to drive your traffic to a squeeze page where somebody puts in an email address so that you can build a list off of that, that's going to require a fair number of videos. And so one of the most important things for you to think about is, what are you interested in? What can you stand to sit around and make videos about? A lot of people, like on YouTube, for instance, do, I don't know, mascara type videos, all about, putting on your lashes and your rouge and stuff like that. Well, obviously I don't do that. So that would be a hideous niche for me. I have zero interest in it. There are plenty of other niches that I would have zero interest in too. I can't really think of them. Oh, okay, I think of a good one. Men's clothing. That's just not my deal. That's not going to work for me. I would rather have my back tooth pulled out with, or all of my back teeth pulled out with a pair of pliers than have to sit around for month after month after month making a bunch of videos about men's clothing. So really you need to look into yourself and think about, well, what am I interested in? What's going to drive me? What am I going to want to get out of bed in the morning and actually talk about? There's a whole world of things. I mean, there's a whole world of what are called booktubers. These are people who get on internet, on YouTube, and actually start talking about books. I actually love to read, and I read a massive amount. I'm actually considering starting my own booktuber channel. So number one is, what are you interested in? I was going to say, what are you qualified to talk about? But I mean, do you really have to be qualified? I mean, there's not like there's some governing board who's going to qualify you to talk about XYZ, really, is there? It doesn't really work like that. Yeah, you got to go through medical school and pass your board certifications and all that stuff. I mean, I'm in the United States to be a doctor, and that's good if you're planning on doctoring. But in order to be an entertainer, in order to be do like an influencer type video series or be an affiliate marketer or anything like that, I mean, it's more important that you like what you're talking about than you feel some necessary need to be qualified about what you're talking about. Now, little caveat here. You don't want to pretend to be something that you're not. So if you're not an expert, just say so. Nobody really cares. I mean, there's a whole world of videos about, basically the newbie exploring things and talking about what they find and hang-ups, that they find with software, and here's how it worked, and oh, I didn't know that. That's really, really cool. That is a good approach for you to take. If you are a real bona fide expert, I was just on the phone with with a WordPress expert. He can make killer WordPress videos about WordPress stuff. I mean, I know WordPress pretty well, but I'm talking about not on the level of the programming. So you can cut it either way. In other words, don't fall into the trap of thinking, oh, I don't really know anything well enough to, talk about it in order to drive traffic to my squeeze pages to build an email list. So, I'm kind of rambling here a little bit, but because I just kind of like to talk to you and just because we kind of have this conversation thing going on. But we're talking basically about using YouTube to drive traffic to squeeze pages to peel off emails to build a list, right? So, it's so much more important that you're interested in a given topic, in other words, a niche, than that you're an expert in a niche. I mean, you can Google whatever you need to know, and as long as you're not pretending to be something that you're not, to start shooting videos and talking about stuff from your honest point of view. So there's that issue. The other issue is, unless you're doing this as a complete hobby, and if you're doing this with some sort of business or money-making purposes, then you need to be able to do what we call monetizing your list, which is just a big fat way of saying that you need to sell them some stuff, hopefully not just one thing, but many things. So you need to be aware of what you're going to try to sell to your list. What do they buy? Do you know that people who are interested in this niche actually do buy stuff? I can't think of any offhand because I don't spend a lot of time with things like this, but there are people interested in stuff online, groups of people, and that's not a viable niche commercially. It's just not they're just not interested in buying anything within that given area of of interest. So you need to know that your niche actually buys stuff. Okay? And then that just sort of begs the question, well, if they actually do buy stuff, what do they buy? And then we just take it a step further. Is your business going to actually produce, as mine does, because we sell software, is your business actually going to produce what these people buy, or do you want to be an affiliate of someone else who produces what these people buy? An affiliate's kind of like a middleman, okay? In other words, somebody else has the product, you sell it, you essentially get a commission for selling it, usually a percentage of the sale. These are the kinds of things that you need to be thinking about when you start an email marketing business yourself from the get-go. Now, if you're already running a business, let's say you have a more traditional business, an insurance agency, a hair salon, a chiropractor's office, your task of all these things that I just talked about, your task is so much simpler because you already know what you sell, right? I mean, you're already in business, and in theory, you're already selling stuff. You just want to sell more stuff. So you've got that part covered. You just have to figure out now you have to sort of back up from that, and you have to figure out, well, what kinds of videos would people want to see, which would lead them to, getting on your list for whatever it is that your business is about. How is that going to work? Okay, if you own a hair salon, I mean, What kinds of videos would people want to see? If you were a chiropractor, think about what kinds of videos would people want to see? If you're an insurance agent or own a small insurance company, what kind of videos would people want to see? That's a little bit of an issue there with insurance, because guess what? Insurance is not visible. It's not a thing that you look at. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could show somebody all that documentation that you get in the mail when you get a new policy, but that's really not going to mean anything. Unlike the hair salon, where somebody could, just show their new hairdo and all this stuff, and where like one of my clients in the past, where we actually went in and did videos of them actually doing haircuts and coloring hair and stuff like that. Some things are visual, or visually oriented. Other things aren't visually oriented. So you're going to have to think through that one. What do you do about stuff like insurance that doesn't have a visual component? Well, then you do exactly what I'm doing right now. You find someone to talk to the camera. In other words, the person becomes the visual component. Or you could do PowerPoint videos, dull and boring, but I mean, you could do PowerPoint videos about things having to do with insurance. But anyway, though, I just wanted to get us started. I wanted to get the juices flowing, thinking about email marketing, and these are the kinds of things that you need to be thinking about when it comes to email marketing. Next video, in this series that I'm building, this playlist, we're going to be breaking it down into the steps that you need to take to create a killer business based on email marketing. Again, thank you so much. I'm Lee Cole. Talk to you soon.